The Substitute doll. First introduced in the original games, this decoy appears whenever the move Substitute is used. Behind this object, a Pokemon conceals its true self, its identity hidden. Back in the day, it was pretty clear what the sub doll was based on. Go on, guess. I can wait. Then came Gen 3, however, throwing this redesign into the mix. At a glance, the new doll seems unlike any other Pokemon that came before. Sure, it bears some resemblances, but nothing ever really matched it completely. It's a simple stand-in for Pokemon, an amalgamation of basic traits. Or, so it would seem. With a few additional years, well, more like a decade, to think it over, the question still lingers. What Pokemon is the sub doll based off of? As this channel's chosen mascot, and as the 100 subscriber special, I owe the sub doll a thorough investigation, one that unravels the mystery behind this inanimate enigma. In a segment I like to call PokeTropes, I, Substitube, will identify the Pokemon that best suits our substitute doll. Grab your wide lens and fingerprint kit. It's time we take a good look at what traits define this creature. Here are the official criteria I came up with. The suspected match must possess a majority of the following. Learn Substitute, be of the monster or field egg group, exist before Gen 4, be green, have ears or pointy head things, have either white cheeks or protruding teeth, since the subdoll is depicted as having either or, have a different colored belly, typically a lighter color, have 4 limbs, have 2 back spikes, and a tail. Now, the true fun begins. We have suspects to round up. As the former subdoll's inspiration, RHYDON is the obvious starting point. How does it hold up after Gen 3's redesign? Most of the criteria still matches, but the coloration and face are quite different. I guess its yellow sprite is sorta green, but yeah. For me, the modern subdoll doesn't exactly come to mind when I look at RHYDON. The most notable feature of RHYDON, its drill horn, is completely absent. In the interest of a fair investigation, I'll dig a little deeper and give the other suspects a chance. Bulbasaur. Like RHYDON, it's considered a first Pokemon, being the first Pokemon in the Pokédex instead of the first Pokemon ever created. Bulbasaur's head shape bears a passing resemblance. It's green, but shares little else with the subdoll. Next. Charmander. Okay, it has the belly and tooth thing, and a tail thing going for it too. Next. Pikachu? Okay, this has to be a joke. Those cheeks though. Sandshrew. I know. It's lacking at first glance. But look at its shiny and boom, more sub-like than ever before. The silhouette is also similar minus the spikes, and it has the right colors. Nidorina and Nidoqueen. Along with RHYDON and Kangaskhan, the Nido family exemplifies the monster archetype. Consider how its shiny is green, and you may be onto something. Nidorina, on the other hand, is smaller and less complex. rework its ears and it could work. Let's keep searching. Abra. Wow. That was unexpected. The expressions are quite similar. It's imperfect, but let's keep Abra in mind nonetheless. Gengar. At best, it could pass as a silhouette of a fat sub-doll. It's not a good match visually, but conceptually, Gengar is based on a doppelganger, which is how the move Substitute is represented in other media. Kangaskhan. Now that's more like it. Looks like a new frontrunner to me. Maybe Kangaskhan even more so. Its shiny is partially green, and everything else would line up if you remove the head dome thing. It also gets Substitute the move through breeding. Totodile? Nah. Cyndaquil. It's just the eyes. Politoed. Nope. Larvitar and Tyranitar. Okay. These were initially my first choices back in the day as the sub-doll's origins. Their association seems natural for some reason. Even the official merchandise thinks so. This might be what they call in a mystery a red herring, however. Or in our case, a green reptile? Chico and Sceptile. More green reptiles. Kecleon. More green reptiles. I think a case can be made in its favor though. Another little green guy with back pointies, ear pointies, a tail. Sure. But it's also one of the few Pokemon to learn Substitute by level up. That makes a strong case for it. Makuhita? I think it's just the eyes and the cheeks. Nothing else really matches. As our final suspect, I present something less conventional. Shedinja. Not a green reptile, sure, but physically, Shedinja's head shape bears a close resemblance. Not only that, both the Subdoll and Shedinja are based on the ninja decoy technique. This one to be precise. In both cases, a part of the original being is cast off to form a decoy. For our Subdoll, the decoy is made from health. For Shedinja, the decoy is made from a shed exoskeleton. It's a perfect match for the doll conceptually. It even learns Substitute by TM, despite not being able to use it properly. Physically, however, there's still a lot to be left desired. As you can see, there's lots of potential matches, but none are quite exact. Like any good mystery, however, when all else fails, go back to square one. Maybe the answer's been there all along, told to us from the very start. I think we should reopen this case. We have to reinvestigate our first suspect, RHYDON. Looking back, perhaps I've dismissed RHYDON too easily. RHYDON is officially the earliest Pokemon ever created, the blueprint for all that came after. It makes more sense than why the move Substitute would have RHYDON as its design, right? The prototype Pokemon, the one-size-fits-all. Prototype Pokemon, earliest Pokemon ever created. Yes, I see. I think I know what's going on here. I present to you Exhibit A, the earliest RHYDON designs. Gotcha! the substitute doll is Prototype RHYDON, or as it was called back then, Raku. It all falls into place now, doesn't it? The monster qualities, the miniature size, the spiky things. In choosing a new design for the sub doll, Game Freak delved even further back, returning to their roots to find a design suitable to represent all of Pokemon. They returned to RHYDON, the original, to the time even before Pokemon itself. My fellow investigators, this mystery is as good as solved. So, that's it, huh? The sub doll is still RHYDON, after all that work. It's a bit of a letdown if you ask me. Big whoop. We technically dug up an old capsule monster, not a pocket monster. The difference matters. I know we found the perfect match, but I can't shake the feeling that we've missed something.
Who am I?
That maybe there's still a green Pokemon that retains all of Proto-RHYDON's traits.
Who am I?
That belongs in the monster and field egg groups. That has pointy ears and protruding teeth. That has a spiny back, tail, and light belly.
Who am I?
Am I crazy? Am I wrong? Behind this object, a Pokemon conceals its true self, its identity hidden. Their association seems natural for some reason. Even the official merchandise thinks so. Consider how its shiny is green, and you may be onto something. It looks like a new frontrunner to me. Maybe Kangaskhan even more so. Good lord. It's you, isn't it? Cubone. Yes, I can see it all now. How could I have missed it? Our mystery can be answered with another mystery. Underneath that protective skull mask, the hidden culprit Cubone has been overlooked. Cubone is green in its shiny form, has Proto-RHYDON's compact proportions, is long suspected to be related to Kangaskhan, one of the other primary suspects, is tied in with official merchandise, is in both the monster and field egg groups, has a mysterious identity in its own right, has pointy ears and a protruding tooth thing going on, has 2 back spikes, has a light colored belly and tail, has 4 limbs, which, by the way, on the sub-doll were tipped white in Gen 3. As for the eyes, just close them. It all falls into place. Honestly, any of the other picks would do, but Cubone is my personal choice. Give it some thought. Maybe one day, you'll think so too. After careful consideration, I believe I found the Pokemon that the substitute doll truly resembles. Poor Cubone. We'll never really know until its full face is revealed. I felt like I owed it to the substitute doll as my channel's mascot, you know? Speaking of which, I haven't really thought of why I chose the sub doll until making this video. It's cute, of course, and I really like its design, but to me, the sub doll represents something more meta. Anonymity, hidden potential, mystery, safety, a buffer, a guarding force. Nah, I just picked it because it was cute. Thank you guys for sticking around for this 100 subscriber milestone. Hope to share more of these with you subbies in the years to come. I'm also planning on doing more of these lore exploring videos, by the way, so expect more from PokeTropes. And if you haven't already, become a subscriber. Until next time, bye bye bye.